case against former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort and his longtime business partner Rick Gates. According to those filings, Manafort currently has 3 U.S. passports, all with different identification numbers. Filings also indicate that Manafort has submitted 10 passport applications over the last decade. He also traveled to Mexico, China, and Ecuador with a phone and email under a different name. Manafort and Gates have pled not guilty and are on house arrest, but are scheduled to appear in court tomorrow. I'm joined now by NBC's Ken Delaney. And Ken, you also have some exclusive reporting that Sam Clovis, the former co-chair, policy advisor for the Trump campaign, he was apparently questioned by Mueller's team last week, testified before the investigating grand jury. What's his connection to all of this?
Good morning, Craig. Sam Clovis is an Iowa politician and a former Pentagon official who was playing a senior role in Donald Trump's campaign, and he was supervising George Papadopoulos, the man who pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about his contacts with Russians and is now cooperating. And NBC News has learned that Clovis was summoned by Robert Mueller's office for an interview last week and subsequent grand jury testimony where he was asked about his interactions with Papadopoulos. And his story, according to a statement by his lawyer to us yesterday, is that he did not encourage Papadopoulos to make a trip to Russia to have an off-the-record meeting with Russians. Now, that seems to be contradicted by an email that was released in the Papadopoulos case where Clovis says, make the trip if feasible. Now, Clovis is not mentioned in the email, but we've confirmed that the campaign supervisor referenced is Clovis. The reason this is important, Craig, is that Papadopoulos, it's pretty clear, was in touch with Russians that the FBI believes were working with Russian intelligence, and they offered him dirt on Hillary Clinton and thousands of emails. And while the Trump campaign has been dismissing him as a low-level aide, one person called him the coffee boy, it's very clear that he was in touch with more senior officials, that Mueller is pursuing that trail to see who else in the Trump campaign knew about his activities, Craig.
Really quickly before I let you go, 3 passports, going back to the Manafort thing. Why would a guy need 3 U.S. passports and need them with different identification numbers? Is that unusual?
There are reasons that I once had multiple passports when you travel to different countries where they require you to turn over your passport for visas. But clearly, the Justice Department found it suspicious as part of an overall filing where they said, hey, these guys are flight risks because they're really rich, they have connections abroad, and in Manafort's case, he's facing 15 years in prison for these offenses, Craig.
Ken Delaney in force there in Washington. Ken, thanks as always. The big unveiling of the Republicans' much-anticipated tax reform plan.